Did you know, I bet you didn't, that intelligence is not what determines how people are successful in their relationships, in their career, or in their health? You know, there was a study, and it was a quite long study, where they picked a group of people and they measured their intelligence. And after 20 years, they got back to these people, they got back to this group, and they looked at their life and they looked how are they doing, how successful they are, how healthy they are, what kind of relationships they are, how are they doing in love life. And this is quite interesting because they discovered that people with higher emotional intelligence were doing way better. You know, these people with higher EQ, emotional intelligence, were way more successful in their career, they were healthier, they had fulfilling and deeper connections and relationships. So, what is actually EQ? What is that emotional intelligence? Well, it's basically the ability to understand what is going on with my inner processes and the ability to understand what is going on with others people's inner processes. In other words, you are aware what's going on with you and what's going on with others. And if you have bad emotional intelligence, then you are easily manipulated, if that's the right word, or controlled or pushed around, maybe is a better word. If you have a lower emotional intelligence or EQ, you are easily pushed around by your emotions, and you have hard time having empathy for others, which means that you don't respond, you react to your emotions. In other words, whatever you feel like, that's what you do. There's no time. See, there's no space there. It's just, this is how I feel, this is what I need to do right now. Right? And having a hard time having empathy with others is about not really being able to put yourself in other people's shoes to understand where they are at in their life and how they got there and why they are thinking the way they are, why they are feeling the way they are, why they are behaving the way they are behaving. And you rather go into judgments of those people because you are disconnected from them, because you don't really understand what's going on, right? And that's all because you might have lower emotional intelligence. And this is not coming from judgment, this is simply an example, because this is very common. Most of people are actually having lower emotional intelligence. And if you are struggling with stress, if you're struggling with feeling a lot of stress and a lot of tension most of your day or most of your life, that's also an indicator that you might have a lower emotional intelligence, right? And as we know, or maybe you didn't know, but I know that research has proven many times over and over again how much stress affects our physical health, right? And how stress and tension in our body leads into chronic health issues and chronic problems. So if you have lower IQ, you might also struggle with health issues and long-term problems in your physical health. And also, another example what I just thought of about emotional intelligence is that if you have low EQ, you tend to struggle with addictions, right? Because, as I said, as you feel, that's what you do. That means that you seek this short-term pleasure rather than being able to resist that temptation and work on something what gives you some reward later on in a long term, right? And this is also very important to realize. So addiction is another thing about emotional intelligence. And then one more thing I can think of is that trauma, emotional trauma, is very closely connected to EQ also, right? Because once you start developing better EQ, better emotional intelligence, you can actually start healing. You can start understanding what's going on with you emotionally, physically, and you can start being present to that, and you can start working with those processes, with those feelings, with those emotions, with those thoughts, and you can actually start healing trauma. So this is really important. In relation to trauma, emotional intelligence is very important also. All right? As you can see, emotional intelligence is very, very important, right? And it's very important to have a healthy, fulfilling life. It's very important to be able to have deep connections with people, to be present, to have, strong health and vibrant health. And contrary to what most people might think, actually, it's not something what you are born with and you're stuck with. As most of people would tell you that you are either born smart or not smart, with the IQ thing. Yes, you can be born smart or you can, or not smart. Let's say you can have a higher IQ or lower IQ, and you can be born this way. Of course, that's true. But what is not true, and what is most commonly believed, is that there's nothing you can do about it. It's the genes, and you can't really change it. Well, again, latest research in neuroplasticity has shown many times that you actually can change your IQ, and there have been done numerous studies with kids. I'm not gonna go into detail of that right now, but it showed that your intelligence can be improved. It's like a skill. It's like a muscle you can improve, you can train, and the same thing applies for your emotional intelligence, right? So because once you start working more with this area of your brain, and then you start involving this area of your brain more, then it will grow, and then new neural connections and new neural pathways will be created in your brain, and it will be for you easier and easier to actually use this skill or use this muscle again, right? So as I said, emotional intelligence is something what you can improve and you are not stuck with for the rest of your life, right? So this is the good news. So if you are struggling with addictions, if you're struggling with relationships, if you have chronic health issues, if you are having a lot of stress and a lot of tension in your life, and you're just overall having a hard time connecting to others and having empathy towards them and putting yourself in their shoes, improving your EQ or emotional intelligence is a really good way to start. All right? So the best way to recommend is to start exercising your emotional intelligence by doing specific psychosomatic or mind-body exercises and practices on a daily basis. And it will take some time, but eventually the muscle will grow, it will get stronger, it will get bigger, and you will see positive changes in your life. You will see yourself being less reactive, you'll have more empathy, you'll be able to resist the need to seek short-term pleasure, and you will overall feel less stressed and in less tension, right? And you'll be able to connect to people on a deeper level, have deeper and more fulfilling relationships, and also you'll be able to start healing some of your baggage, some of your stuff, your trauma, and your limiting beliefs, blocks, and fears. And this is the part of the work we do with our clients. We help them strengthen this emotional intelligence muscle. We help them improve this emotional intelligence muscle so they can see those positive changes, as I described, in their lives. So if you are resonating, if you're seeing yourself in what I was describing here today, then we have something for you. We offer a free call for anyone who would like to speak about their situation, about that specific situation, and we can talk. We will see what's going on with your life, what's going on in your relationships. We're gonna take a look at that. We're gonna take a look at where you actually want to go. And if we can help you get where you need to go, if we can help you solve your problem and help you fix your situation, then we'll talk about how we can do it, and we'll speak about how it works. But if for some reason we cannot help you, or we're just not a good fit, then we'll point you in a direction or a resource or somebody, something what will help you, in our opinion, the most. So either way, you got nothing to lose. As I said, this is a free call where we talk about your situation. You get the most clarity on your situation. You get the clarity on what is your next step, what you should be doing. So you literally have nothing to lose. So don't be shy if you see yourself that this is exactly what you are struggling with. You might be, if you're struggling with addictions, if you're struggling to have a nice and fulfilling relationship, then book a call, have a talk with us. As I said, it's a free call. I'll leave a link in the description of this video somewhere, depends on where you're watching this video. It might be above or below. And once you click that link, it will take you to our scheduling page or in our calendar page, where you can choose the time and the date that works the best for you. And we will call you on the number that you have given us, and we'll talk to you about your situation, as I said. And if we are able to help you, we'll talk about how. And this is it for today's video. My name is Martin, and I'm a transformational coach at Milimar Holistic Healing and Coaching. And I'm looking forward to see you on the next video, or if you book a call, I'm looking forward to speak to you personally. Okay, bye-bye.